Hi everyone, my name is Luigi. I'm a member of Left Voice. I'm an immigrant worker from the United States. I'm very excited and honored to be part of the summer school of Revolution Permanente. For Left Voice, you all are a source of inspiration. As Trotskyist organizations in imperialist countries, it's essential for us to raise high the banner of anti-imperialism and international solidarity. From Palestine to Kanaky to Mexico, imperialism has got to go. Since October, we have seen one of the worst human massacre of our lifetime. It's estimated that over 100,000 Palestinians have lost their lives in this genocide by the US-backed Israeli occupation. At the same time, we have seen a massive surge in an anti-imperialist consciousness among the youth, students, and workers around the world. In the US, millions have taken the streets, occupied train stations, blocked bridges, protest weapon manufacturers, and pushed their union to call for an end to the genocide and an all US military aid to Israel. The student movement in the United States occupies over 80 campuses across the country, challenging not only the genocide, but also the relationship between the US imperialism, their universities, and the Zionist state of Israel. And I think some chants are similar, and I have heard from of you. And in the US, we always chant, free, free Palestine, free, free Palestine. Free Palestine. Free, 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 free Palestine. Now, in the United States, we are going through the presidential elections that will impact geopolitics for the years to come. From the ongoing war in Ukraine and the strengthening of NATO, to an imperialist strategic confrontation with China and ongoing genocide in Gaza. The polls between the two candidates are tied, and the possibility of having a new presidency of Trump is real. Right-wing governments around the world, from Netanyahu to Javier Milei in Argentina, are hoping that Trump will win this election so they can embolden the right-wing projects. In the United States, the right wing has been strengthening all these years. This electoral campaign, the Republican Party and Trump, is bringing a very anti-worker, anti-union agenda, attacking the students who mobilize for Palestine, attacking abortion rights, expanding fossil fuel projects, attacking the rights of immigrants, pushing for anti-trans laws. And if you see Trump's campaign, among the top priorities is the threat to deport 1 million of undocumented workers in the United States and to reinforce the US-Mexico border. On the other hand, facing Biden's extreme unpopularity, the Democratic Party shifted its campaign and chose the current Vice President Kamala Harris as their presidential candidate. This has temporarily resolved their crisis and is renewing hopes of large sectors that were disillusioned with Biden. But while they try to present her as something new, she has been an integral part of Biden administration. Both Biden and Harris have played an active role in the current genocide in Gaza. The US has historically sent billions of dollars in military aid to Israel, as it is its imperialist outpost in the Middle East. The Democrats' presidential campaign is based on lesser evilism, the fear of the right wing and the threat of having new Trump presidency. Yet, they have been taking up aspects of the right-wing campaign, especially against immigrant rights and the rhetoric with China. Democrats continue to find the police who repress the Palestine movement and continue to oppress people of color. Another key factor in US politics is the growing strength and consciousness of the working class. The pandemic showed who really keeps the world running. This, along with the Black Lives Matter movement, has emboldened the workers' movement, increased the aspiration of workers who are questioning decades of neoliberal attacks. 2023 has been the year with the most strikes in decades, fighting not only for better wages and conditions, but for better quality of life. An example was the historic auto workers' strike of last year, which included among their demands a 32 hours week with no reduction in pay. This carried the seeds of showing the potential for an alternative to overwork and unemployment in the United States. Union presidents were invited to speak at both the Republican and Democrat National Convention as a way to appeal to the working class. These union leaderships play a key role in containing militancy and channeling it back into the capitalist parties, who want to align workers behind a nationalist and imperialist project that has been in crisis of hegemony. These parties have nothing to offer to the multiracial, multi-ethnic working class. We are made up of black, Arab, queer workers, immigrants, etc. All of us exploited and oppressed by a capitalist system in which a few corporations hoard billions while the working class can barely make ends meet. While workers lack access to healthcare, to education, millions of dollars are sent to the US war machine. The fight against the right is in our workplaces, our universities, and in the streets. In the US, we saw an inspiring example of how to fight the right this spring at the University of California, where the pro-Palestine encampments were attacked by Zionists and right-wing mobs, and in response, students, workers, and unions fought together with a strike to defend the right to protest for Palestine. In New York City, left voice cameras were part of the Gaza Solidarity encampment at the City University of New York. There, we put up a struggle against the union leadership and organized a seek-out for a democratic assembly, which was the first work stoppage for the union in decades. But all this is part of a larger phenomena that has been growing from below in the United States, from Occupy Wall Street to the Black Lives Matter movement, to the union struggles in Amazon, in Starbucks, to the movement for Palestine. Socialism is not a dirty word anymore among the youth, and millions are seeing the contradiction of this capitalist imperialist system of inequity, producing war, crisis, and climate change. We have the task of building an alternative and an anti-imperialist project rooted in the international working class that fight for a socialist perspective. In Left Voice, we are very proud to be here with all our FT cameras, with the people that hopefully will join RP soon, with everyone who stood up for Palestine and are fighting to rebuild the Force International.